Okay, welcome everyone. We are going to start this presentation and book discussion. I am Leah Sciortino. I am the founder and director of SEA-Junction, and SEA-Junction is the place you see here, which focuses on Southeast Asia in all its dimension. And today we are going to learn more about art in Thailand. This is a very beautiful book with a lot of photographic information and meant for a general public. And we will in particular, of course, foreign public to learn about art in Thailand. So, and today I think Professor Chedha, who is a professor of art history at Silpakorn University, quite famous. We had the pleasure to host him already on other events in art, Buddhist art, Islamic art in Southeast Asia. This was quite some time ago, before COVID, right? But now today is here again. He has presented this book already many other places, but still we are honored to have him here for our friend at SEA-Junction. Please.
So today, actually, this book has already launched for 2 months, I think. And so this time, I would like to give you some information about art in Thailand, which is actually it is conclusions or is summaries from the book. Okay, so that if you buy the book, you have some ideas from my presentations about what's art in Thailand is. Okay, I will spend 1.5 hours for introductions about art in Thailand. It is would be interesting for you, I think. So firstly, I started from prehistoric period. Okay, and art as same as other school of art in other places, that the prehistoric periods can be defined by development of the equipments from the Paleolithic to Neolithic to Bronze and Iron Age. So I give you some information about the stone tools also, and another topic in this book that I discussed is the funerals practice and potteries. The people buries their dead bodies of the loved ones with special decorative potteries that containing food for the next life. The most important examples is the potteries from Banqiang with the red pigments, which is very famous for the art histories, for the art and the potteries in prehistoric time in Thailand. And also give you the information about the bronze kettle drums, this one, which is connectable to Chinese bronze drums in southern China. And the one that I also gave to you, given in this book, is the rock painting depicted the abundant ceremonies, as the examples here is from Patham, which is the most interesting. So that is the first chapter. The second chapter is the chapters on Indonesians from 5th to 6th centuries. We discovered several semi-precious beads, right? Such as agate and carnelian, the orange semi-precious stone. Okay, it is discovered in several sites. This seems to be imported goods from Western world, like from India, as well as some of the bead that has been, produced in southern part of Thailand from the imported materials. So this indicates the advent of Indian merchants as well as Roman. So we discovered Roman lamps from Western Thailand also, and Indians migrated to Thailand during the 1st to 5th centuries with small Buddha images with pure Indian style slides like this. Hello, ดีกว่าเนอะ Oh, yes, good. Yes, yes, and the sounds clear. Okay, so, uh, uh-huh. So these are the artifacts that evident, that is the evidence of the early Indonesians. Small portable Buddha images has been discovered in Thailand. It seems to be that Indians like monks, Brahmins, the merchants, and the fortune seekers travel to Thailand from 5th to 6th centuries. So that for groups of Indian as well as South Indian people who traveled to Thailand during this time. So they introduced languages, writing system, Hinduism and Buddhism, the economic system, and the political system to the locals. The locals then established the king and the kingdoms following Indian system from 5th to 6th centuries. Okay, so for 3 to 10 centuries, we have two periods. The first one is the period from 6th to 9th centuries. It's entitled as the first Indonesian period of time. There are several states or school of arts scatterings in several parts of the countries. This include the Warawati schools in Central Thailand. Okay. Isan, the Warawati, Isan literally northeastern. So it's called North Isan the Warawati in northern Thailand. And the Korean Khmer art in the southern part of northern Thailand. And Srivijaya schools of art in southern peninsula. So these are 4 schools of art of the pre-10th centuries. Okay, this is the first period. Then we move from 10 to 12. By 10 to 12, it is entitled as the Khmer Rise Sessions period. Okay, the whole northern Thailand and central Thailand was under the suzerainty of Khmer Empire, and the southern part, yet we have the latest states in southern Thailand as well as Haribunjaya in the north, which also mentions in this book. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the Warawati art in Central Thailand from 6th to 10th centuries. So Central Thailand was reported by Chinese pilgrim Xuanzang's that it is the locations of the kingdom called the Warawati. And it is the first Indonesian kingdoms in Thailand, and that's confirmed by inscriptions and coins. So these are coins mentioning the name of the king of the Warawati Shawarapunya in Sanskrit. It mentions the merit deeds of the king of the Warawati. So this is the coin that's confirmed with the Chinese pilgrims reports in the 5th to 6th centuries. So it's confirmed the existence of the kingdom in Lower Central Thailand. Yeah. However, the capitals, the period is also in controversy. We don't know that the kingdom has been lasted from 6th to 10th century, or is just a short 100 or 200 years. We don't know, because is a lack of inscriptions. Political and economic systems follow Indian culture. Mahayana and Theravada Buddhism and Hinduism were flourished side by side, while Pallava script or South Indian script of the 6th centuries was widely spread. Was widely accepted, whereas Sanskrit and Pali were utilized as the religious languages. Okay. The Mons seems to be the main people because they use Mon in the inscriptions. The Mon share the language. This corresponds to the modern language of the Lower Burma nowadays. Okay. The work of the city formations is characterized by the ramparts. Can you see the, okay. Okay, can you see the map on your right-hand side? That is the city of Nakhon Pathom. Okay, 70 kilometers from Bangkok. And we have the city in the rectangular shape. Can you see the rampart and the moat, city moat? So there are several cities that belong to this period, like Nakhon Pathom, Utong, Kubua, and Sitep. These are amongst the most famous. Yes. Okay, can I have a pointer? So do you have pointer? Oh, should I use the finger? So this is the photos of the aerial view, the bird aerials and ข้างล่างนะไม่มี Can you see the moat? Moat runs from here to here. It's already, already destroyed. But these are the moat of the city of Nakhon Pathom, which seems to be the biggest city in the Dwaravati period of the 6th to 7th centuries. And some people believe that this is actually the capital, but it is still in controversy. Okay. So this is the inscriptions discovered from the Nakhon Pathom, and it used Pallava script or South Indian script of the 6th centuries. Okay, while several coins has been discovered in Lower Central Thailand, mentioning three Dwaravati, Shawarapunyas, or the marriages deed of the king of Dwaravati. It means that the king of this title would be existed during the 6th to 10th centuries, but we don't know the capital. So that is the story. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the Buddha images of Dwaravati. So there are several Indian schools that influence the Dwaravati art, including Amaravati style of South Indian art, Gupta, and Vakataka and Pala of North Indian art. Okay, so Buddha images are designed with several gestures and posture. The gestures are Varada Mudra. Varada Mudra means the gesture of giving boons to the devotees. It shows the palm downwards like this. Okay, while like this. Another gesture is the teaching gestures called Vitaraka Mudra. Okay, putting the right thumb, the thumb, and the index side. This is the teaching gesture we call Vitaraka Mudra. And interestingly, the popularities of the double Vitaraka Mudra or double teaching gesture for standing Buddha is noticeable in the Dwaravati art. This one. While we have the Buddhas with two kind of posture, the standing one and the sitting one. The sitting with and the sitting with we call the pendant leg. Okay, sitting on the chair or on the throne is also popular in the Dwaravati art. Okay, while during this time the Buddha with the protection of Naga was also very popular. Okay, and for narrative, there are two kinds of narratives. The narrative of the first preaching, the Buddha's sitting in the middle, in the center, preaching to his first five disciples, the first group of disciples. This one. Another kind of narratives is the narrative of the double miracles. The top, what we have here, we have the Buddha sitting in the center under the mango trees. Can you see? And on the mango trees, his illumination, he sprayed himself with illuminations, filling up the branches of the tree in order to convert the non-believer. So this is the narrative of the double miracle. Double miracles in Pali is called Yamaka Patiharya. Yamaka means double. Patiharya means miracles. Okay, this one. So these are two scenes that were very popular in the world of the art. Okay. You can discuss or you can ask me some questions during my presentations, because I think after the teaching, after the lectures, it would be it will. I think that if we discuss in the middle of the photo, I think everyone will understand instead of discussing at the end. Okay. By the way, so during the 6th to 10th centuries, during the period of Dvaravati, we have Hinduism also, Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Surya cult, and Krishna cult art, as well as Ganesha cult. Okay, are first side by side with Buddhism, but less popular. So what we have here, we have the huge Ganesha in Prachinburi province, which is the biggest, in size, the loftiest Ganeshas in Southeast Asia. Okay, this one, and Vishnu, with 4 attributes. Do you know the attribute of Vishnu, right? Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Dharani. These are 4 attributes of Vishnu. Shankha, the conscious. Chakra, the view. The Gada, or the club. And the soil, Dharani, okay, or the bhu. Okay, these are Sanskrit name of the attributes of Vishnu. This testify the flourish of Vaishnavism in the world of the art. So the world of the Hindu iconography follows in the night, including Vishnu, as already mentioned, with 4 attributes, as well as Surya with 2 double lotuses in his hand. Unfortunately, this image, the double lotuses are lost, but it's believed that this image seems to be Surya or sun god. Okay. This forms C-tape in Central Thailand. These are from Simahosot, also in Central Thailand. So we have several schools of Hindu, the world of the art, Hindu images in the world of the art. Peculiarities of the world of the art. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the mythical creatures called Vanaspati or Panasabadi in Thai. If you speak to Thai, you have to speak Panasabadi, okay, but for Sanskrit is Vanaspati. It is the mixtures of Garuda and the lion. And it has been designed as the vehicle of the Buddha, which is peculiar iconography, because no such iconography in an art or anywhere else. So it is the, what I can say, it's the identity of the Varavati art. This one is from Nakhon Pathom. Okay, the Buddha stand on the mythical creatures, the combinations of lions and Garuda. Okay, with wings. Can you see the wings? Okay, with short body. Another peculiarities of the Varavati art is Dharmachakra, or the wheels of the laws, symbolizing the first preaching of the Buddhas. Is among the most popular in the Varavati symbols. The symbols follow Maurya type of the wheels that rests on the pillars. However, the popularity of the wheels in the Varavati art is 1,000 years later than in the night. So Maurya's Ashokas, you know the name as Ashokas. Ashokas promoted this kind of views, symbolizing the first preaching of the Buddha. Is every sacred site in Buddhism in India, but 1,000 years later, the Varavati also promoted the view of the law, which is interesting. The Varavati architecture is normally massive, brick stupa like this with non-enterable body. The body is solid, means for enshrining Buddha relics, and the plan and the moldings are very complicated with the connections within the night. The plan is decorated with projections. So this is the photo of Khao Phang Nok stupa in Sithep, which is the most complicated stupa in the world of art. Yes, can you notice the series of the projections? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the plan is not simple. We can say the plan is decorated with several projections at the corner and in the center. Okay. So now we move to Isanda Varavati, or the Varavati affiliated art in Northern Thailand, which is about the same time, 6 to 9 centuries. It was flourished in the northern part of northeastern Thailand. Okay, and several inscriptions are mourns while Buddhism was widespread. So they share the same ethnic with Central Thailand in the same period. They will mourn, they use mourn language as their medium for inscriptions. Buddha images in northern Thailand are similar to Central Thailand with minor difference. So we can notice some difference between the southern school of northeastern Thailand and the northern schools. Can you see some difference? Even though they share the same characters with central the Varavati art, but the schools seem to be divided, before the whole bit. So these are some minor difference that I try to emphasize in this book also. Okay, so another interesting topic is the Sima stone. Okay, Sima stone is the Buddhist boundary stone, which is typical to the regions. Sima stones has several categories. They are either plain or with Buddhist narrative. So this is the most famous Sima stone is discovered from Kalasin, now in Khon Kaen National Museum. Have you ever visited Khon Kaen National Museum? No, not yet. So this is very famous. It narrates the story of the Buddha sitting in his palace. Visited, he was, he was attained by his former wife, Yasodhara. Yes. Okay, this one. Because he is sitting with the cross leg. It is called the sitting posture of Virasana. In Buddhist iconography, we have two kinds of cross-leg sitting. Cross-leg that show only one soul on the top, we call Virasana. It is influenced from South Indian art. sitting loosely, we can say. While another kind of sitting posture is the Vatrasana, or sitting tightly with both soles shown on the top, okay, which is normally affiliated to north Indian eye. So we can differentiate between the Buddha with South Indian influence or North Indian influence by noticing from the soul, the feet. Okay, this one. So this is a South Indian soil. This is why we have only one soul on the top. Understand? Okay. And I just I'm speaking about this narrative. So we have both the plain and the Sima stone full with narrative. So this one is the examples that is filled with the lessons of the Buddha. The functions of Sima stones are meant to signify the sacred areas for monks. So this is from Pupabat in Udon Thani. What we have here, we have a Sima stone, you see, that assign around this peculiar rock. It means that this should be some holy place in ancient time. We don't know what happened in ancient time. I mean, 1,000 years ago, there would be some ceremonies happen here, something. Okay, so this is the Sima stone, which is the typical for northeastern part of the Varavati or Isan the Varavati, okay, in 6th to 9th centuries. Now we move to the pre-Angkorian Khmer School of Art in northern Thailand. From 6th to 9th centuries also, and pre-Angkorian Khmer art in northern Thailand is specifically meant for the southern part of northern Thailand. Now we have to divide northeastern Thailand into two parts, the southern one and the northern one. Okay, during this period, 6th to 9th century, do you know the names of the province? Nakhon Ratchasima, Buriram, Surin,ศรีสะเกษ Ubon Ratchathani are the province that belong to the cultures of pre-Angkorian Khmer School of Art. I understand. Okay, during the 6th to 9th century. So what we have here, we have temples, Hindu temples. It is a temples with were constructed with bricks. It provide the square rooms and enterable door for another room for enshrining the Hindu image. And we have the bronze bodhisattvas. This is from Buriram. This one, okay, it testifies the coexistence between Hinduism and Mahayana Buddhism in the same time. In Koreanoid is characterized by the arch-like lintels. So these are the lintels, stone lintels that normally decorated on the top of the door frame. Even though the temples was built in brick, but lintels are normally in stone only. So this is why is normally survived from the dilapidated temple. And they're characterized by the arch-like frame. Can you see? Arch-like frame. Okay, we have the mythical creatures called Magara, or the mixture between crocodile and elephants. Crocodile with the trunk of elephants. Okay, so this is the mythical creatures that's normally decorated at the both ends of the lintel during pre-Angkorian art. Okay. We move to Southern Thailand. Okay, from 6th to 7th centuries. So for Southern Thailand, we have to divide into two periods. The first period is entitled as a pre-Sri Vijayan period, or the periods of early Indonesians. Interestingly, a southern part of Thailand is is a peninsula. Okay, so several Indian travels, through this peninsula in order to continue their journey to China. This one is several objects that belong to or affiliated to Indianite, like this one. What we have here, we have a Buddha image in Amaravati style, in South Indian style. In order to notice the South Indian Amaravati style, you have to notice from the one shoulder cover up of the Buddha image. Understand? With the tip of the garment at the shoulder level, while the right unfortunately lost, should raise in the gesture of giving the protections, or we call Abhaya Mudra. Unfortunately lost. Okay, so this one, and in India, it belong to the 1st to 4th centuries. I mean, so this seems to be one of the most ancient. Okay, wow. What we have here, we have Vishnu in Mathura style, which is also very ancient, 1st century, 2nd century, and this is the most ancient Vishnu outside India. Okay, belong to the 1st or 2nd or 3rd century, something like that. While we have Bodhisattva in Gupta style, and Shivalingas also. So Shaivism, Vaishnavism, and Mahayana Buddhism were flourished side by side during this time. The second period lasts from 8 to 10 centuries in southern Thailand. We can call it as Srivijaya period. Okay, and as the Srivijaya political activity is proved by an inscription. The inscription discovered from the Nakhon Si Thammarat mentions the activity of the king of Srivijaya. He seems to be originated from Sumatra in Indonesia. Okay. The sculptures and architectures of Srivijaya periods in southern peninsulas are normally bronze images with the style and iconography related to Pala and Javanese art under Mahayana Buddhism. So these are the masterpieces, the bronze bodhisattvas, full with jewelries. So can you notice the differences between the first period, which is normally plain? It's made of stone and it's normally plain. This is the first period, and the second one is normally made of bronze and is full with jewelries like this. Okay, the most beautiful bronze image of Avalokiteshwaras are the examples praised by the scholars, which is the most beautiful. Most of them are discovered from Chaya. Chaya is the city, ancient city, now in Surat Thani province in northern part of southern Thai peninsula. Okay, and several clay sculpted tablets are also discovered, and the stars are also related to Pala art of North India. Temples of this period is in Terrible Town, decorated with miniature stupa at the roof, which is of Javanese style. So this is the temple at Chaya. As I already mentioned, the city of Chaya, which seems to be one of the most important cities from 8 to 10 centuries in southern part of Thailand. Some people think that would it be the capitals of Srivijaya or not, but it's still in controversy. But the several artifacts, we can say, it may be the centers of Mahayana Buddhism in southern part of Thailand from the 8th century. Okay. Can you remember I mentioned that there were two periods for the pre-13th century Thailand? What time is it? Okay, I can continue. Now we move to the second period of pre-13th centuries. It's called Angkorean period Khmer art in Central Thailand and Northeastern Thailand. It lasts from 10 to 12 centuries. Now we move to another period. Okay. During 10 to 12 centuries, the whole Northeastern Thailand was under the suzerainty of Angkorean Khmer Empire. I'll say. So several Khmer temples in Northern Thailand were commissioned with inscriptions. So it's confirmed by inscriptions, okay, by Khmer kings and nobles. So these are the example, Prasat Mueang Tam, Prasat Pimai. So these are examples. And as well as the hospital that belonged to Jayavarman VII of the 12th century, at the end of 12th century also given here. So these are the Northern Thailand map. And what we have here, we have Pimai, and we have Mueang Tam and Phnom Rungs are the prime examples of Khmer temples. Most temples belong to belong to Hinduism, but the last period called Bayon period or Bayon art belong to Buddhism. So that's because King Jayavarman VII, who promoted this the kind of art, Bayon art, he believed in Mahayana Buddhism. Central Thailand was also included into Khmer Empire, marking the end of the Warawati kingdom in this area. Can you remember I spoke about the Warawati kingdom from 6th to 10th century. From 10 onwards, it was absorbed into Khmer Empire. So this was confirmed by several inscriptions in Khmer, mentioning the activities of the kings from Angkor. Okay, like this. Angkorean period Khmer temple in Northern Thailand. Now we are going to discuss about the temple. The tower's pile is normally characterized by the cone-shaped light contour. This decorated with antefixes. Can you see an antefixes? Okay, and the body is normally multi-corner multi-corner square. Okay, with anticipate Ayutthaya pranks. The rooms or the sanctums, also called in Sanskrit as Garabhagriha. This is the name of the holy room. It's provided inside the main tower, while we have the antechamber, or it's called in Sanskrit as Mandapa. So provide in the front. Okay. This is an example from Pimai. The treatment of Khmer art is characterized by the serpent frames. The very serpent-like frames, and is filled with the motifs, either the foliage motif or the narrative. So this is the examples from Prasat Phnom Rungs. Is the tympanum is filled with dancing of Shiva. Okay. Wall, the lintel. Can you remember the lintels? During pre-Angkorean period, we have the lintel decorated with arcs. During Angkorean periods, from 10 to 12 centuries, the lintel is normally occupied by the foliage motif. Can you see the gardens? The gardens, the scroll works. So it's normally occupied by the foliage motif. In the center, we have Gala face. Gala symbolizes time. So it is designed with the head of the lion. The lion will show only the head. It's called Gala face. For Buddha image, Khmer Buddha statues in Angkorean periods is characterized with serpent protections. This one, the face is normally square, and upper body is bare. Only the lower garments provide. So this is how do they differentiate between the Varavati art, the Varavati Buddha image, and Khmer Buddha image. For the Varavati Buddha image, the body, upper body is always covered with robe. Understand? While anchoring Khmer Buddha is normally bare. The body, the upper body is bare. Only the lower garments provided. So we, during the last period of Khmer art, is Bayun art in 12th century, we have the image of Avalokiteshvara, which is decorated with the tiny Buddha, tiny images of the Buddha that cover the whole body of the Bodhisattvas. So we call this iconography as the radiating Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva or the one who has the who radiate body from his body. So that's why we call radiating Bodhisattva. So this one, this is the typical. This is the characteristics of the late Khmer art. Khmer Hindu images during this time follow in iconography, such as Shiva and Uma on the Bunandi, you see, and this is Indra on the triple head Airavata. This is so you need to study the vehicles of God in order to identify this kind of iconography. The garments is normal of the anchoring period with pleated garment. Can you see the pleated garment with the fishtail-like tassels, double fishtail-like tassel in the middle? Okay, like this pleated lower garment is the characters of anchoring periods of the 10th to 12th centuries. Okay. While we have a diadem, can you see the head here? They are decorated with diadem and the pointed finial. Diadem, pointed finial, diadem, pointed finial. So these are the dress of the anchoring period. Now we move to the third period. Okay, it is the 13th to 18th century Thailand. And after the decline of Khmer power in the 12th century, Thai-speaking people claimed the areas of central and northern Thailand. So this one, can you remember I mentioned before that the Thailand, central Thailand and northern Thailand were occupied by the Mon speaking people and the Khmer speaking people. Okay, pre-12th centuries. But after 13, we have the new phenomena. Thai speaking people start their own kingdoms. Sukhothai kingdoms, Ayutthaya kingdoms, and Lanna kingdoms occupy most of Thailand nowadays, while in Mekong Delta, we have a group of Thai-speaking people who established the Kingdom of Laos. Okay, so these are 4 kingdoms belong to Thai-speaking people. By 15th centuries, Sukhothai was weakened and eventually absorbed into Ayutthaya Kingdom. Ayutthaya Kingdom was more powerful. So they absorbed Sukhothai Kingdom, and Lanna Kingdom was very angry, you know. The king was very angry. So they launched the war against Ayutthaya in order to claim Sukhothai. This is the situations during the 15th century. Okay, by 16th century to 17th, the more powerful Burmese Empire by Bayinong, from Hantawadi, occupy Ayutthaya and Lana. Ayutthaya gained independence very rapidly, but Lana was ruled by the Burmese for 200 years. So this is the story of the 16th to 17th century. Now we move to 17th century, 18th centuries. During 17th centuries, late Ayutthaya kingdom was also very powerful. They occupy central Thailand, southern Thailand, and some other places, but even Cambodia, also accept the sovereignty of early Ayutthaya. But at the end, Burmese Empire destroyed Ayutthaya the second time, and then they subsequently moved to Thonburi and Bangkok in the 18th century. So that is the story of the 18th centuries. Bangkok kingdom became very powerful again. Okay, so Lana, Laos, Cambodia were under the sovereignty of Bangkok. So what is the story of the 20th centuries, early 20th centuries? British and French colonizations came and they shape out the modern border of Thailand. So this is the story of the history of Thailand. Yes, yes. This one. Okay, yes. So I will give you some short information. Okay. The Emerald Buddha artistically belong to Lanarite of Northern Thailand. From the style of this spirits of the 14th centuries. While the legends of the Buddha try to connect with the earlier one, which is not true because the story seems to belong to the 14th centuries. Okay, of Lana Kingdom. After some time, when Laotian king, who rules Chiang Mai for some time, brought back the Emerald Buddha to Luang Prabang and Vientiane. Okay, so by 18th century, when King Rama I tried to re-establish Bangkok as the capital again. So he brought back, this Buddha image to Bangkok. So this is a shorter story. But during that time, he was the noble. He was a minister of King Thaksin. During that time, King Thaksin tried to establish the new kingdom at Thonburi. Yeah, this is a story. Okay. Any questions you can discuss this. Okay. So he asked at what time Isan was controlled by the Khmer, right? It started. We have to divide Isan or northern Thailand into two parts. The northern part of northern Thailand and the southern part of northern Thailand. Okay. For the southern part of northern Thailand, it has been continuously ruled by the Khmer from 6 to 12. While the northern part one was under the Khmer suzerainty from the 10th to 12. So it's shorter. Okay. From the 12th, after the 12th century onward, 13, 14, when Khmer kingdom collapsed, okay, the empire collapsed by the 13th century, and the Laotians power, was established at Luang Prabang by 13th centuries. So the whole central Thailand was under Laos from 13th to 18th century. Okay. After that, 19th centuries and 20th centuries, it was under, it was divided into two parts, the one with Thailand and the one with French colonizations. Okay. Understand? Yes. So this is a story, it's not inside. Now we move to Sukhothai, which is the upper central Thailand in the 13th to 15th centuries. It was established by Thai-speaking people called Phra Ruang Dynasty, okay, who overthrew Khmer lords from the regions, and they launched Thai scripts, as you know, Thai scripts, and they promoted Singhalese Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism as the state religions instead of the former Hinduism and Mahayana Buddhism. So I think that they try to make the identity, I don't accept it, Hinduism, I don't accept it, Mahayana Buddhism, but they try the new religions, Theravada Buddhism instead during this time. So there was a strong connection with Sri Lanka. You have to notice that during 13th century, India was invaded by the Muslims. So that's why they have to connect with Sri Lanka instead of India. This is the situations of the 13th centuries. Okay. So there were several categories of stupas during this time. The bell-shaped one, the bell-shaped stupa is connected to Sri Lanka. So sometimes we call Sri Lankan type stupa, like this. The prasada type stupa or the tower type stupa. The stupa is normally is the combinations between the room and the top finial, the circular finials. Okay. What we have here is prasada type stupa. So several stupa is decorated with the row of elephants. Can you see? Which indicates the connections with Sri Lanka. Another kind of stupa is called lotus bud stupa. Like that is typical characters of Sukhothai art. It is actually the combinations of Khmer temple, Khmer tower, with the stupa finials. Can you see? And this kind of stupa become the political emblems of the kingdom. It means that if Sukhothai try to show, the king would order to construct this kind of stupa in several cities. Another one is the Mondop. Mondop is the brick square buildings for enshrining Buddha image. It is typical to Sukhothai art, and the most famous one is Wat Sechum, which enshrine the loftiest Buddha image in Sukhothai. Have you ever visited? Yes, very huge. Sukhothai Buddha images is praised by scholars of the sweetness of contour and the beauty of the body modeling. Okay, and so Thai scholars praise this kind of image as the culmination of Thai art. The Buddha is characterized by the oval face, the flame on his chin, the exaggerated, very wide, very broad, the elongated strip of the robe at the left shoulder. Can you see? These are the striking characters of Sukhothai Buddha image. The Buddhas are both in sitting posture, standing, and walking Buddha. While sitting Buddha, the sitting one is normally in Virasana. Virasana, the cross-legged sitting posture with only one soul shown on the top. Is this connected to South Indian or Sri Lankan iconography? And the gesture is normally Maravijayas, or the gesture of touching the earth to witness, placed on the knee, okay, for calling the goddess of the earth to help him during his enlightenment. The walking Buddha image, also called in Thai as Lila Buddha, okay, they are characterized by the feet passing forward, moving forward like this, which is very famous for Sukhothai art. This one, while we have a Hindu image also, we share the same characters of the Buddha with the sweetness of the contour and modeling. So these are the characters of Sukhothai sculptures. Now we move to Lanna in the north from 14th to 17th centuries. Lanna Kingdom was established by King Mang Rai with Chiang Mai as the capital. Chiang Mai means the new city. Okay, even though it's already 700 years or so, it's still called the new city. Okay, and Mang Rai dynasty rules Lanna for 200 years with several important kings like King Guna, who was famous for the patrons of Singhalese Buddhism, while King Tilokaraj is famous for his military campaign against Ayutthaya. So these are the most important kings. Stupa, we have several carved stupa. This one, the first one is Gukut type stupa. The stupa with superimposing tiers. In the pyramidal style, it's called Gukut type stupa. This is the first one. But we have it here. Okay. The second one is the bell-shaped stupa. Ilana style is characterized by the elongate, superimposing tiers bases. Can you see? Several bases has been provided to support the tiny bell-shaped element on the top. Like this is the characteristics of Lana stupa. This is they gave you the examples from Pratat Karipunchai in Lamphun. The third type of stupa is Prasada type stupa or the tower type stupa with the square body and the circular spire on the top. Like this is the early one, and this is the late one. This belongs to 13. This belongs to 15 centuries. Okay, can you notice some differences like from the simple plan to the multi-corner one? Okay, this one without sloping roof. This one is provided with several sloping roof supporting the spire, unfortunately lost. This is from Chiang San in the north, and this from Chiang Mai. Okay, so these are some of the stupa that are given in this book. Also, I will discuss more detail in this book, but this time I try to summarize everything. But you know, for 2,000 years, I cannot summarize within 1 hour. Okay, by the way. Okay, so this now I'm going to speak about Lana Buddha images in northern Thailand. Okay, yes, so we still have half an hour more, right? For Q&A also, right? Okay, Lana Buddha image can be categorized into two groups. The first one is the Vajrasana group, or the Buddhas sitting with both soles on the top. We call Vajrasana with Burmese affiliations. While the second one is the Virasana type of the Buddha image, only shown on the top with Sukhothai influence. The first one is characterized with the choppy body, the round face, the lotus-like top knot, while the second one is characterized by the leaner body, the oval face, and the flame-like top knot. Can you notice some differences? Okay. The golden periods of the Buddha image of Lana Buddha belongs to 15th to 16th centuries, and the several of them are attached with inscription. During 15th to 16th century, there was several inscriptions on the base of the Buddha image. So it's very easy for art historians to date this car of the Buddha. Okay, the pavilions of the later period. So during the 16th centuries, Mangrai dynasty collapsed. Okay, and it's followed by the Burmese occupation in 17th centuries. By 18th centuries, เจ้าเจ็ดตน dynasty revived Lana. Okay, so we call this period as Lana revival from 18th to 20th. Okay, during เจ้าเจ็ดตน dynasty, not Mangrai, but เจ้าเจ็ดตน, we call Lana revival. Okay, so what we have here, we have several roof pavilion. Largest, okay, is normally called in Thai as Vihan. Okay, this is the buildings with multi-tier roof, wooden tympanum, and the beautiful gateway in the front. If we walk inside, what we have? We have the Buddha image enshrined inside the pointed pavilions. Is called in Thai as กู่พระเจ้า Okay, while in the front we have the pointed gateway we call โขง so there are several terminologies for this. Inside we have painting also, painting with Jatakas, with Buddha life scenes also provided for this kind of temple. Then we move to the Laotianoids in northern Thailand from 16th to 20th centuries. As we call now is Isan regions from 16th to 20th centuries was under the power of Laotian kingdom. By 17th centuries, Laotian kingdom was split into 3 kingdoms. Unfortunately, so they were weakened. By 18th century, several parts accepted Bangkok suzerainty. So, because of that, that's why they so and then try to protect them. So that's why northern Thailand, now was absorbed into Thailand. You can say, even though they were under Laos. So this is called Isan regions by the Thai people. During 20th centuries, French colonizations divided Laotian regions into 2 parts, the Lao Republic nowadays and Isan. Okay, there are several. Now we are going to discuss about the stupa. There are several carved of Laotian stupa. The first one is Bulim type. The second one is bell-shaped type. The third one is Prasada type. And the fourth one is Pratat Panom type stupa. The first one, the most important one is the Bulim type stupa. Bulim means the square lotus type. Can you see? In order to recognize the Laotian stupa, you have to notice from the square lotus element. This one. This is typical to Laotianoid. Okay. While we have another carved stupa is called Pratat Panom type stupa. It is the stupa with double square body and top with square lotus. So it's shared the same. Can you see the lotus? But on the top of the stupa, these are the characters of Laotian stupa. Buddha image firstly influenced by Thai art, and then it becomes indigenous. These are Laotian Buddha image. For the roof pavilions, it shares with Lana roof pavilions. So there are several carved of the pavilions. like typical Laotian style with the curve. You see the roof with the curved contour and the double arch in the front. These are the characters of both Lana and Laotian style. With double, we can say. Okay. While there's several functions for these pavilions. The first one is sim. Sim means the orientation hole. Okay. The second one is hall dry or the hole meant for keeping manuscript, normally built in the middle of the water tank. The third one is hall jack or the pavilion with a preaching throne. Like this. This is hall jack. Okay. Now we move to Ayutthaya. Is the chapter 9 of the book. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The art of Ayutthaya in central Thailand. Ayutthaya was established at the confluence of three rivers in lower central Thailand by King Utong in 15th centuries. And there are 5 dynasties rule Ayutthaya. Utong, Suparnabhumi, Sukhothai, Prasat Thong, and Ban Phu Luang. These are the list of the dynasties. So the city is surrounded by the rivers, and so it seems like an island. Okay, this is the map, and what we have here, we have the most important temples located in the center, like Wat Mahathat, Wat Pharam, and Wat Ratchaburana. Some of them are the cremation sites of the great king. So during early Ayutthaya, the temples was constructed on the site of the cremations of the great king, okay, of early Ayutthaya period. While royal palace located in the north with Wat Prasi Sanpet, which seems to be the most important temple in the city. Okay. So these are the stupa in Ayutthaya art. What we have here, we have Prang or the cone-shaped tower. First one is the cone-shaped tower we call Prang. Okay. The second one is the bell-shaped stupa. Okay. So in Thai we call Jedi Song Rakang. Rakangs mean bells. Okay. The third one is Jedi Patliam. Patliams mean octagonal. The stupa with octagonal base. This is the third one. Can you see? The fourth one is the tower type stupa. The combinations of the tower and the stupa. The fifth one is the Jedi Yomum or the stupa with multi-corner square base plan. Sorry. Okay, and the Prang or the multi-corner cone-shaped towers continue from Khmer Orient. With but much elongated. So the proportions is very elongated. I mean, compared to the squat Khmer Orient, Khmer Prang, Khmer Tower. This card has been chosen to express the political power of Ayutthaya. What does it mean? It means that when Ayutthaya tried to seize some city, occupy some city, the king would order the Prang, the cone-shaped tower to be built in the center. So this is the story. Each of them each of the South stupa has their own originations and their own evolutions that I have to summarize. I have already summarized in the book. I cannot speak everything here. Okay, but Jedi Yomum seems to be the most interesting because it was originated in Ayutthaya. Former stupa should be in circular, but in Ayutthaya, this is the first time that the stupa are designed in multi-corner square. It's called Jedi Yomum. Okay. Okay. The roof pavilions. So there are several functions for the roof pavilions.
The first one is Ubosot. Ubosot is the ordination hall surrounded by Sima stone. You know, and Vihan is the great congregational halls or the great pavilion enshrining the Buddha image. Sometimes they overlaps. You have to notice from the Sima stone, it maybe seems to be Vihan, but it can be used as a Ubosot if it's provided with Sima stone. And understand? Like this is the pavilion at Wat Na Pramen, which is the most intact pavilion in Ethiopia. Have you ever visited? Yes, right? And it's still intact. With Vishnu decorated the pediment in the center, surrounded by the group of divinities. In the interior is occupied by the colossal Buddha at the end. And the row of the columns is capped with the lotus capital. So these are the characters of the mid-Asia, right? While the Laodicean temples is characterized by the pediment full with scrollworks. Can you see the difference? This is the mid-Asia is normally occupied by several figures of divinities, while the late one is occupied with the scrollworks, foliage motifs. While Vishnu also in the center is also the same. In some cases, the building is windowless, so it would be very dark inside. During ancient time, is Buddha images of Ayutthaya. The pre and early Ayutthaya is characterized by the square face and the stiff contour of the body. The Buddhas are frowning. While during the mid-Ayutthaya, the Buddha is characterized by the royal regalia, the crown, the necklace, but it's very less in number, so it's entitled as the lesser visual Buddha. During the late Ayutthaya, the king tried to promote himself as the universal monarch, to compare himself with the Buddha. So the fully visual Buddha was with the extravagance of the whole regalia, the pointed crowns, the X-breast chains, several bracelets, and the pointed shoes are provided for the Buddha during this period. Now, moving back to the last chapter, it is Bangkok. So during the 18th century, King Rama I established Bangkok at the former city of Thonburi, or which is the former subsidiary temple, South city of south of Ayutthaya. The king also established Chakriya dynasty, as you know. So the new capital was planned with a newly excavated moat. See the moat? Have you ever visited the moat of Old Bangkok? Okay, this is the moat that surrounds the city, connected with Chao River. So the palace, the temple, Wat Sutat, Wat Po, are some examples that constructed during this time. During the King Rama II and the Third, he beautified the city with several temples, including the great stupa of Wat Arun, because normally in Thailand, the city should be the locations of the greatest. And the greatest stupas of the city is normally called Mahathat. But Thonburi or Bangkok has never been the capital. So the new greatest stupa should be planned for the city. So this is Wat Arun. This is the greatest Prang stupas in Bangkok. So these are the list of the architecture in Bangkok I am giving in the book. The first one is the Grand Palace, okay? And the most important palace is to sit Mahaprasad, which is the traditional throne hold with 4 porticos and the pointed spoil. So it's also mentioned in this book. Besides this, we have Wat Phra Kaew. Okay, that someone asked me about the stories of Emerald Buddha, which is not emerald, is a jade. Yes, but the people misunderstood. Actually, actually the name of the Buddha is Amarakot, means the Buddha that was built with stone from heaven, something like that. It is not connected to the emerald. But after some time, they misunderstood. The people misunderstood, and they gave the name of the Buddha as Emerald Buddha. No, actually, it's not emerald; it's dead. Okay, so this is Wat Phra Kaew. Okay, as another temple, as already mentioned, Wat Arun. Okay, is the examples of Bangkok Prang. I already discussed about the concept stupa called Prang. Okay, it's conceived as the city of the main stupa of the city of Mahathat. The concept funeral is so lean. Now it's very lean. I mean, compared to Tianite. Okay, Wat Po, another stupa. We have the triple stupa in multi-corner plan, decorated with Chinese style tiles in several colors. So these are the typical characters of Bangkokite. The stupa is assigned as a type of the stupa as Chedha Song Krung, or the stupa is characterized by the lotus cushions. Can you see the lotus cushions that support the back elements? It's called Chedha Song Krung. What is the time now? What is the time? Okay, yeah. And King Rama III was a fan of Chinese art, so he therefore ordered to redesign the pavilion in his own style, mixed with Chinese art. So this is an example. The pavilion of his fairy star is plain and simplified with Chinese style decoration at the back. So for sculptures and paintings, Buddha images in Bangkok art was evolved from the traditional style towards realism. Okay, Bangkok Buddha is characterized by your youthful facial expressions. He looked like a child, an adolescent prince, something like this. Can you see? Like this. During the reign of King Rama V, Westerner introduced realism to Thailand, and the Buddha was redesigned with human expressions and realistic robe. For painting, Bangkok painting evolved from the traditional style toward realism. The traditional Buddhist paintings narrate the unreal story of the miracles of the Buddha and his previous life. The most important characteristics of the traditional style is the unreal sky. It's occupied with red color. Can you see? This is the sky. Red color sky. This is an unrealistic one. Traditional one. And there's no horizon. This is belong to the King Rama III. During the 18th century, during the 19th century, something. While at the end of 19th to 20th centuries, what we have here, the paintings changed dramatically. What we have here, we have the horizons, right? We have the cloud. We have the atmospheres of the evening. So this is the paintings from Wat Ratchapradit is in Bangkok, not far from the temple of Emerald Buddhas. And this is we call the transition periods between the traditional one to the modernizations, to the to the realistic one. This is this is the end of traditional Thai art, which provide in the book. I can give you very short examples and short informations, but it will be elaborate in the book of Thai art, the illustrated introduction. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for this very comprehensive introduction, although little by little, but it's a lot of information to digest. We have time for a few questions. There is only a little of time. So who wants, I will take 3 questions and then you can answer. Anyone first? Okay, first.
Is there criteria to determine when the history of a country officially starts? Is there such a thing?
Okay.
3
Yeah.
questions. I take 3 questions. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So the criteria
I
is
take 3 questions
and
and then you answer.
okay.
And
So I have to
close.
memorize.
Yeah,
Okay.
memorize first. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we are trying to round it up. Okay.
Oh,
Very
very
good.
good question. Thank you very much. That was a lovely
Thank you.
comprehensive. You didn't mention King Thaksin, and I wonder, do you have him in the book as well?
I think I have very short information because I emphasize on Bangkok. But my friends work on King Thaksin especially. And he issued a book on Thonburi art, which is very detailed, but unfortunately in Thai. So maybe next time, if I have a chance to, elaborate this, I will. But not in this book, not in this book.
Okay. Shamil.
Okay, hi. Shamim from SEA-Junction. I would also like to ask about, you mentioned about the northern part of the southern part of Thailand, but I want to, since there are also Buddhists residing in the further south of Thailand, did you mention anything about it in the book or have information on it? And I also would like to ask about the book itself, on how long does it take for you to compile it and do the research on this topic?
Okay.
I have, okay. So we are going
Yes.
first to
Okay.
when you start with the nation. Yeah.
Okay. So there are several criteria. Okay. During about 20 years or 30 years ago, several people thought that King Ramkhamhaeng, who is or Pharoah dynasty who established Sukhothai, seems to be the criteria for the establishment of Thai kingdom. Okay, because they invent Thai script, they promote Thai language in the inscriptions, and during nowadays we still use Thai. After some time, some scholars propose that during that time we have King Mang Rai, we have several king of Ethiopia, we have king of Laos, who also speak Thai or share some language with Thai. So this is the problem, that whether we need to emphasize on Thai language or not. But if we try to use another criteria like a culture, interestingly, they try to convert the cultures, convert the religions from Hinduism to Theravada Buddhism. So this is the what they call the landmark of Thai, culture, which follow Theravada Buddhism till nowadays instead of Hinduism and Maya Buddhism. And they share this kind of, tendencies. They share both Sukhothai, Lana, Ayutthaya, and Laos. So I think this should be the main criteria for, for differentiating between the pre-Thai of the pre-13th century and the Thai of the 13th century onwards. Okay.
Yes. there
Okay.
was that.
So you asked about southern Thailand, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Further south, I mean the further from the peninsula, you mean Malaysia? Okay. For Malaysia, they have their own tendencies. I mean, the stylistic tendencies of the pre-13th centuries belong to Sri Srivijaya. They share Mahayana Buddhism, Hinduism, and they share some culture with Indonesia and Indian influences. Pre-13th century. After the post-13th centuries, some were converted to Islam. Okay, and the people who speak Malays became very powerful, so they established several sultanates. Some of them accept Ayutthaya's sovereignty, so they was under Ayutthaya. Others they were not. So there was some conflicts between the group the group that was under Ayutthaya and the group that was not under Ayutthaya. Portuguese and the Dutch colonized Malacca for some time. Yes, and actually they asked Ayutthaya to cede the city to the Portuguese. So it means that during the 14th or 15th centuries, Malacca once was under Ayutthaya before being ceded to the Portuguese. Understand? And after some time, during the 19th to 20th centuries, when the British came, so Bangkok ceded Penang, okay, to the British, and that is the starting point of the colonizations of Malaysia, okay, by the British. Okay.
So I mean, the book then doesn't include the southern, the south part as part of Thailand. Okay, in this case, okay.
In this
so
case,
it's
but
more the Buddhist art.
Buddhist art. So this book take about 5 to 7 years. I mean to compile. But firstly, I made the PowerPoint for teaching Thai students as well as foreign students. Then I thought that it is very easy to collect the data and write a book from the PowerPoint, because I have it has already proved that if I teach students understand, so it means that every people should be understand from this book. I understand. So after that, I start compile this book with my own photographies. So 99% of this book, okay, the photographies belong to me. I took by myself. I travel all over Thailand as well as Southeast Asia, as well as India, in order to compile this book. So hope that you not only the book, but the photo is also in a good quality.
So we have a last question from the Facebook. So one moment, she will read it. Yeah.
This is from an online audience. They want to ask, do you think there is sufficient conservation of Thai ancient art across the country, especially in Ayutthaya and Sukhothai, for example?
The conservations, right?
Yes. Is there sufficient at the moment?
Yeah, we can say that because Thailand belongs to the tropical climate zone, so painting dilapidated very rapidly. So there is a problem. Secondly, the pavilions is normally made of brick and mortar and a wooden roof. So it's dilapidated very rapidly. So that is the problem for Thai art that compared to other, school of art, Thai art deteriorated very rapidly. Fortunately, several Thai FAD fine art departments sent several, conservators to study abroad and to bring the technique for conserving the paintings and the pavilions from the moisture, the climate. Okay, so we hope that at least we make something to preserve this precious art.
But I was recently in Ayutthaya, so I am just thinking, and I saw some part have been reconstructed.
Okay.
Reconstructed, and also a lot of cement on the floor, and some of the stupa were not there, now they are there. So what do you think about this, about rebuilding
That
according to some design?
I don't agree with that. I think that that's not good way for the conservations, yes, to rebuild it. But in order to, if we discover some traces underground and we want to show above the ground, we may have to put some bricks. Do you understand? In order to point out that there have been the trace of the wall underground. That is a real one, which is already, already underground after the excavation. But they try to show there was a trace. Understand? So that would be the reasons why they put the new bricks on the top of the trace.
Thank you very much for this, again, very interesting presentation and answer. And another applause, yes. And of course, there is a special prize for the book, 700 instead of 800. So please do buy. And of course, Ajahn Chedha can sign it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time.